Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about pros and cons of living in Copenhagen, Denmark. Denmark is one of the coolest countries as I think in Europe. It's situated in Northern Europe, just a bit north of Germany, to the west from Sweden and to the east from UK. The main pros of living in Copenhagen, which is the capital of Denmark, it's a great work-life balance. So a lot of expats are coming now to Copenhagen, especially from USA, Canada, like other countries like Asia, South America, because it's a really nice place to live. You can really combine great lifestyle with your work. The city is located on the Zealand Peninsula. The city is not that big, so it's really comfortable to live in. And if you can find a good place, you don't need to have a big commute. So the work-life balance is great here. Second thing is food. Surprisingly, Denmark and Copenhagen have a great choice of food. Both there are local Danish food and there are a lot of great cafes and restaurants. Maybe you know there is some cafe restaurant called Noma, which is one of the highest rated restaurants in the world, but of course there are a big queues there. Also bicycles. Everyone in Copenhagen is going on bicycles. I think there are more bicycles in the city than people, than inhabitants. Have a really cool bicycle infrastructure, so you have everywhere these bicycle lanes across almost every road, so you don't need to go on a bike just on the road. You have a special bicycle lane on every place. And also I think there is a great work and growth opportunities here in Scandinavia. There are a lot of new companies, especially in Copenhagen, maybe Stockholm. These are becoming startup capitals of Europe. There are a lot of firms or small startups opening their offices here. And Copenhagen is I think the hub of Scandinavian world, so it's really good. Denmark is one of most expensive countries in Europe, I think after Switzerland and Norway. Naturally you have a higher salary, and therefore even if you go from Copenhagen to Germany, it's much cheaper, or to France, stuff like that. So it's quite an expensive country. It's hard to get in, but when you get, it's a good salary and good benefits. I think the location of Copenhagen is also really good, so it's really close to Germany, really close to London, to other parts of Europe. There is a good big airport, 2 hours to Italy. You can go on weekends to Italy, Spain, Portugal, come back, so it's really handy. Denmark is constantly rated as one of the top places to do business. If you want to start your small cafe or even a small startup, small agency, it's also possible to do it here in Copenhagen, Denmark. And I think Copenhagen is one of the best places to do business in Denmark. Obviously, Denmark is ranked among top happiness destinations, these welfare programs. So for example, I think if you're EU citizen, you can have something like a casa. So if you lose your job or something like that, you still will be paid a big chunk of your salary. So it's also really handy. Workers in Denmark are quite protected as well. So there are some kind of unions where you need to pay some small fee for 3 months or something like that. But then you will have a lot of support in dealing with your employer. Not for expats, more for EU citizens. There are some benefits, unemployment benefits, all that stuff related to Scandinavian countries. It's really good. Also there is like free healthcare. Also education is free as well. But I think only for EU citizens as well, and for Danish citizens. If you are outside of EU and Denmark, I think you will need to pay, but it's not that much compared to US. But there are a lot of scholarship opportunities, a lot like internship opportunities and stuff like that. So this kind of stuff is really cool. And also the nature around Copenhagen. So you have all these beaches. So in summer you can swim. There is a great beach in Klampenborg. You can swim in center of the city, Islandsbrugge, Amager beach. I was told it is safe to swim even in the canals in Copenhagen, unlike in Amsterdam where you can't swim in the canals because it's dangerous somewhere else. But in Denmark the water it's really clean, so it's a great city. Also, it's located really close to Sweden, so you can go just over the bridge. You can go to Malmö, which is another cool city in Sweden. It's kids and family. Denmark is a great, really like cool place. All the Scandinavian countries are fantastic in that area. Let's talk about what are cons, if there are any. The climate here is not that great, especially compared to Spain. The weather is actually, it's always like kind of cloudy, and it's some kind of like a sea climate because sea is all around, but it's like cloudy. I think in July there are like 8 sunny days at most. All other time is just like cloudy, kind of like warm climate. There is no snow in January, February, which is cool, but yeah. Positive side is that you can just jump in airport and in 2 hours you are like in Spain or France, Italy. So I think Danish people, that's what they do. They just go to Greece, like if they want more sun. While like Denmark is more like an office country, so there is no like sun here. The people just going to work. Denmark, they're really like reserved, and it's really hard with Danish people to get in some kind of like easy conversations. They're like reserved, stuff like that. But when you want to make deep friends with Danish people, they are like really friends for life. If you like that, maybe it's good. For some people it's good. For some people they like more outgoing societies. So also I think that it's not like pros and cons, but it's just a reality that if you want to stay in Denmark, you will need to learn Danish language, which is complicated. A lot of like, especially Americans, they can spend like 2-3 years learning it, going to courses, and it's like still be at the like beginning stage. Obviously all of the Danish people, majority of them speak English language, so it's good. So you don't need, you can find a job just with knowing English, but still if you want to integrate here, it can be harder. Well, also I think there are some issues with their immigration laws. So if you are coming from EU, or if you are Danish, obviously you won't have any issues. It's so easy just to go and work here. But if you are from United States or even Canada, like Ukraine or Russia or Asia, South America, getting a work visa can be a bit tricky. Other pros, of course, that like Denmark is expensive and salaries in Copenhagen are good. So like, I don't know, like for example, some software engineer with like nice experience can easily get like 5,000 euro, 4,500 euro after tax in a good company. So I think, guys, that's about it. This is like a short overview what I have spotted, what the pros and cons of living in Copenhagen. A lot of like US expats think of Copenhagen as some kind of like a paradise city, which is like really cool, and some of my friends are also really excited living here. But there are some difficulties, and people who think they're coming from US or like Canada to live here and they will just like enjoy and live in paradise, it's not that true. Some of my friends from US who moved like from Washington, from DC, and thought it would be so easy, they are finding some hurdles here. So it's not that easy as well. It's a new country, new kind of society, so there are some issues. So I'm just trying to explain them here in this video. Please subscribe to my channel for more tech videos and videos about Denmark and travel. hit the like button and see you in the next videos.